they stop. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to another week of Free to Heal. We are here. Woo, the folks is in rare form right now. All I want y'all to know, they on one tonight because it is Brother James' birthday. So we are here again. Free to Heal is where we come together every week. We're either formerly incarcerated, loved ones, children, people who have been impacted by the criminal justice system, and so we come to try to heal the wounds of the things that incarceration caused us. I'm gonna start by saying one of the things that got me involved was being involved with a person who was incarcerated. I told you guys about this particular person. I want to share with y'all, and I didn't even know I was going to talk about this, but here we go. So, and you better not say nothing. And you, and she can't say nothing. She can't say nothing, but this is what I want to tell you. This is what I want to tell you what happened. Okay, what had happened was, and I don't even know if I shared this part with you, but the person that had been incarcerated, the relationship ended pretty quickly when he came home. But long story short is that the poem that I wrote that led to me doing groups at the Francisco homes. That poem was about his experience, and part of that was recognizing that there was an identity crisis going on. Who was he going to be now that he was home? That is something that not just he experienced, but a whole lot of people experience, men and women. I've said to you guys before, it is an opportunity to remake yourself, to reinvent yourself, to be whoever you want to be now. The person that went into the prison is not the person that comes out, and you can't be the person that was in prison while you're on the street, because that universe only exists inside the penitentiary. So long story short is that one of the things, and I just happen to have it right here, one of the things that I wrote about him in the poem was about his how he functioned when he was in prison, and how sure of himself he was in prison. However, when he came out of prison, because he wasn't in that environment anymore, he didn't know who he was, and it made him insecure. It caused him to be different, and just bear with me because I got to find the particular passage that I wrote that talked about it. Okay, I say in the poem, and for context, I'm just going to go up a little bit further. I see the van and know that you're a few feet away. I'm shaking. I can hardly catch my breath. I'm praying that nothing goes wrong. I've been waiting a long time for this day. Finally, you're home. I finally get to cook for you, turn them tricks I told you about, taste the wine of your presence, feel the divine. But that's not what happened. See, I forgot that hurt people hurt people. I forgot that if you don't know and love yourself, there's no way you can know and love me. This is where it starts to get important. See, I thought the only thing between us and our happiness were the walls. But I didn't know that the walls were a blockade against your fears and insecurities. See, you knew your place behind the walls. Behind the walls, you were confident and sure. You were the sexiest man alive because you knew. You even dared to dream a dream. The walls were the security blanket that kept your manhood in check. But now you're not sure. In fact, you're insecure. In this world, you don't know who you are. It makes you mean. You can't commit to me because you can't commit to this you don't know. And I'm going to stop right there. But the point being, and the reason I bring it up is to say that he called me out of the blue from the county jail. And he was the old man that I knew. He was the man I fell in love with. And what was sad to me is because it took him being where he's comfortable just to even want to call me or whatever. But the point being is that he was incarcerated. This person went to prison at 17. So most of his adult life he spent in the penitentiary. But his confidence, his approach to me, his thoughts were clear, all of these things, because he was back where he knew how to function. And for me, that's a very scary thing. That this person, when you talk about institutionalization, that's what we're talking about. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about somebody that spent so much time that he's more confident in himself and comfortable behind the walls than he is in freedom. And that was, for me, it was a very sad moment to me to realize that he may never be that person on the street. He may never be the confident, strong, beautiful Black man that I fell in love with.
There's Black sound in the room right there.
Huh? Oh, you weren't talking to me?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sorry about that. So again, he may never be that on the street because he only knows how to be that behind the walls. And so I bring it up to say, I need you guys that have been incarcerated, I need your input.
Well, I want to start it off.
Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to start it off because
what you need our input on exactly?
So what it is I was and you missed the first part of it, was the fact that a guy that the guy that really got me writing a poem and all this stuff and got me into doing the groups at the Francisco Homes called me from jail. He's in the county jail, and he was confident. He was, all of those things. This was a few days ago. Yes, ma'am. This is now. Okay, so see, because she on her phone. She not paying attention. So now she missed it. So anyway, he called me, and he was so the person that I fell in love with. And it struck me that he was confident, he was sure of himself, but he's back in jail. And so in his element, and that's what concerns me. I'm concerned about the institutionalization, and I need you guys to help me and help those people that may be listening to this about how that plays out and what is that. And so James wants to go ahead and kick that off.
Well, when I started, and I still deal with it, that's why I come to the groups, was my biggest thing was anxiety. The who I was in prison, I was a figure. I was somebody. When I went in, I was somebody with a gun in my hand. I was somebody with dope in my hand. When I went and worked on me, and actually worked on me, I worked on the little boy first. I worked on the little kid first. I didn't start off at adult. Mm-hmm. I started peeling the layers from a child. Mm-hmm. And the hurt and the pain that I experienced coming up, I was peeling them layers. They was painful, like layers of skin off your back.
Yeah.
I was peeling them, and they was hurtful, but I had to get through them to get to. A lot of people start off at the adult, but we have to start off at the child. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of fears that I had, a lot of hurt that I had, came when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. That's why I went to the game banging. That's why I went to dope slanging, so I could be who I was. Mm-hmm. Then when I got to the adult stage, now my aha moment, my reality, that came when it got close to the board. Then I had to be a grown man that had to deal with the loss of my wife right before
That's
I
right.
came home.
That's right, huh? Yeah.
Because my wife died in November, and here I am in the board in January.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that element. Then it came to when I came home, my ex-wife, as a favor, because I wanted to surprise my mother, my ex-wife picked me up. I was scared to talk to the lady at McDonald's to order my own food. And it took me 20 minutes to order my own food because coming out of prison, I don't know what I like to eat. I've been eating spreads for 26 and a half years. I've been eating burritos. I've been eating what they allow us to buy in the store or in a package. So that's part of the institutionalization that you're talking about, where he's comfortable. Those are the elements that give him a sense of security, because when he was out here, we all go through the element of anxiety, insecurities, low self-esteem, because when they tell you that the stuff is for us to obtain out here, they shut the door more than they open the door on the next time. So then this group here came along. And you remember, I almost died. I went to, I caught COVID and almost died, came out with an oxygen tank. That's another fear I had to overcome. And I'm steady working to overcome these fears, jump these hurdles, over these hoops, just to survive. When in prison, I was head of PIA over all the transportation vehicles. I created them, did the blueprint with some other guys to get these going. So I was somebody.
Yeah.
Now I come home and all the homies, hey, what's that, homie? Pew, they gone here. Hey, homie, pew. But I couldn't move like them because I was unsure about who I was. Remember, I explained to you how I cried to buy myself toothpaste, deodorant, Doritos, because I don't know what I like. I don't know who 3 years out of it, I'm still learning my taste buds. I'm still learning who I am. This has been the best part of, really the best part of freedom. You know, because just a month ago, I took my shoes off and had my feet touch the water at the beach. Cried in, big old baby. But what it is a sense of security, a false sense of security is what prison gives you. Because it's a community. You go from one prison to another, and your status beats you there.
Wow, okay.
Your status beats you there.
Oh, wow.
You know,
really, with female prisons too.
Before you get there,
yeah,
before you get there, you already there.
Oh, wow.
You know, everybody know you coming. So when I got to prison after prison, I've been to 8 prisons. Never ran off a yard. I stayed GP. Never did SNY. None of that. But I did 8 prisons. You know, the biggest thing for me, and this is something that he might have dealt with, was the unsurety. Holding money, I still shake. Holding keys, I never went to CMC East where you had a key. So I never really holding on to keys was, to me, it's still an issue. I throw my keys down when I get in the car. I won't hold them in my hand. When I go places, I stuff the keys deep in my pocket because it's still like a taboo to me. So I'm still working through a lot of issues that's, for you guys has been free, dealing with a man in prison, and you dealing with your mom, and you dealing with your sons. These are things that you guys don't understand, that y'all take for granted, that we don't, that I'm gonna speak on my isms, that I deal with every day.
And wait, and I gotta stop right there and say this, that is literally the reason that we do Free to Heal. What he just said is because as loved ones, as people that care about you, there's a lot we don't know. Also, as you guys who have been incarcerated don't know what we go through. The purpose of this group is for us to educate each other, and anybody that may be listening, that maybe we can avoid some of the pain for them. You see what I'm saying? Maybe we can avoid some of the families from breaking up because we can give them information and say, hey, you're not the only one that's been through this. You see what I'm saying? This is what you might expect, right? If somebody's incarcerated right now and they may be getting ready to come home, they may hear this and go, okay, remember to expect that I might be nervous having cash in my hand. I may not want to hold the keys because I never, or I'm like, I know we had a lady call us she had been in CIW for 30 some years and literally had an absolute anxiety attack at the ATM machine when the money first came out.
Yeah.
Because for 30 some years, she had never touched cash.
Right.
And so it also doesn't have to be a real long period of time, because I know somebody who did 19 months who literally was mad at his wife because she made him late to get home before count time.
Mm.
He was angry at her. He said, I told you we should have left sooner. He was trying to get in the house before count time. But I just had to say that is literally why we're here. And I hate to have to interrupt you, but I think it's important for the people listening to know that that's why we do this. Yeah. Because we don't know. And you guys are not going to always tell us.
No.
Who was you going to tell that to?
Nobody. See, the thing is, I fear if you're my woman, mm-hmm. I don't want to be that vulnerable because you have put me on this pedestal to be this man.
Right.
The head of the household. When you come home, you're going to be the head of the household. Now that's more pressure on me. That I have to be the head of the household now. I have to deal with this. Because you're looking for a break. You've been dealing with it by yourself for so long that you're looking for me to come in and actually be your partner, but you didn't say it, and I didn't hear it.
Yeah. No, I didn't say it, but you did hear it. Whatever I did say, you translate whatever you heard. Right.
I heard that I'm coming in to head the household.
Uh-huh.
I didn't hear that you were looking for the partner to help.
Okay. Uh-huh.
You with
right.
James, yeah. Can I step in for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. From my experience, most people, they go into prison pretending to be something that they're not because of fear, of pressure. They don't go in there and become a different person. They go in there they have to become a different person to survive. I ran across a lot of my homeboys in prison. I found out they was gay. They in there having sex with other men and falling in love with other men. And then they get out and get with a woman, and then they end up breaking up because they don't want a woman. They want another man because they've been doing time with these men and then fall in love with each other because I guess humans need that affection and love and all that type of stuff. And so a lot of times,
yes, they do.
Yeah, a lot of times, but they was already like that before they went in prison. Prison didn't turn them into that. They was already that way because once you get attracted to the same sex, you've been attracted to the same sex. You know what I'm saying? But in prison, you could do most dudes would freely do that. But when they get out of prison, when they get to a woman, they end up leaving the woman because they don't feel comfortable being with a woman. You know, but just like you said, the guy, he went back to prison. When he went back to prison, when you was there with him, you nurtured this guy, I believe, in my opinion. You nurtured him, you loved him, you gave him that support and everything. When he got out of prison, he became who he truly was. But once he went back to prison, who nurses him? He came back to a one person who truly loved and cared about him, and came back to you because he knew how you really felt about him. He knew you were the only one that gave a damn about him. When he got out, like I say, most people turn into their regular self, but in prison, they got to be someone else. They got to be from somewhere. People say gangs, they're not gangs and stuff, but in prison, you got to be from somewhere or the opposite race will get your ass. So most people got to claim something or be a part of something, either Muslim, that's a gang, to me, but prison is a place where trauma happened to a lot of people. Trauma, all kinds of people, men go to prison and get raped if they ain't from someone because they become victims. And I was at a prison at a 50-50 yard where the dude raped the dude, is all on camera, and the dude liked it, this shit. Now they having a full-blown orgy up there. That's right before I got there, it happened. But It's a lot of things go on in prison with men's, and when they get in there, they not who they say they are because everybody's a millionaire, billionaire. Everybody, just like Richard Pryor when they went to prison on TV. I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad. Scary the mother of it. But lots of men is people in prison ain't who they really are in there. And once they get out, it's like, okay, now I could be myself. And I'm not afraid of no one because, like, say, most men like myself, I had to learn how to seek the opinion of a woman. So I had to learn how to talk to a woman. I had to learn how to what a woman want to hear from me. I tell her the lies that she want to hear from me to make her want to have more interested. She know I'm lying to her.
Wait, hold up, because women don't want to be lied to.
Hold up.
Wait, let me just correct
Both
that.
women do.
No,
Both women won't.
Okay,
Yeah,
first
I
of
ain't
all,
gonna say
let me
all
just
women.
say this to you,
I ain't
though,
gonna say
Lionel.
all women. See,
Lionel.
there you go. There you go. There you
Lionel,
go.
no,
You
there
know.
you go. Because Lionel, let me tell you this. The
See,
one
see,
thing
okay,
you have
okay.
never
I'm
Lionel,
doing my
the one
share.
thing you have
Let
never
me
been in
share.
this lifetime, the one thing you've never been in this lifetime, Lionel, is a woman. So you can't tell me
Okay,
other
okay.
women.
Let me, not read. Let me say this, all right? You told us, you shared with us that the guy you was with told you what he was about, but you thought you could change this guy, and this guy didn't change. You shared that with us. That this guy told you wanted more from him in a relationship. I ain't talking about the same guy you was talking about right in the prison, but you shared a story with us about a guy. Yes, you have. You
Who
can
told me?
ask people
Okay,
that.
so you're talking. So what I told you was not that I thought I could change him, Lionel. That was your interpretation of
Yeah,
what I said. What I told you
yeah.
was I thought I could handle it. When he said he wanted an open relationship, I thought going in that
Mm-hmm.
I could handle it and found out I couldn't. That's different than thinking that I could change him and I
So,
wanted him to
so
lie.
now you, you saying that you was cool with having an open relationship with another person?
No, I didn't say that. I
So
said
what are you saying?
you
What are
gotta
you?
listen. You gotta listen and not listen to be right. You gotta listen to hear what I'm saying to you, because there's nuance. Okay, so what I said to you then, and I'm saying now, and it holds true today as it did 30 years ago. When he said he wanted an open relationship, I thought I could handle it. In my 20s,
Okay.
I thought I could wait. Don't. I thought I could handle it. I got into it and realized that I couldn't. But I also knew I couldn't blame him because he told me up front that he wanted an open relationship. I never asked him to lie to me, and
What do you mean by you thought you could handle it?
I thought I could live that open life like that. I thought that I could be in that relationship with him, let him see other women, I see other people, but I couldn't. Part of the reason that I couldn't is I also allowed him to dominate my time, meaning that every weekend he had me sold down. Every night he had me sold down, talking to me from his job and all this kind of stuff. We did Bible study together, like all of this. He monopolized. We went on vacations. It was a whole lot but I wasn't supposed to allow him. This is what I learned where my fault was. In as much as he didn't want what I want, when I realized that I couldn't handle it, what I should have done was walked away, right? But I didn't walk away because at this point I'm in love, and now my feelings are involved, along with a whole bunch of other things was involved, and that created the hurt for me because on paper it looked like there was no reason me and him shouldn't be able to be together, but it don't matter what it looked like on paper. So the reality was I thought, and when I finally realized, and then this is the other thing, all throughout the relationship, when I would decide to walk away and try to say I'm walking away, he would chase me down and hunt me like a dog to get me to come back. And he would give little things. If I had, like, so I'll give you an example. If I said to him, oh, I want to meet your brother that lives in LA, he wouldn't take me. But then when I would walk away from his behind, hey, I want to take you to meet my brother. And okay, so he would dangle little carrots and things. But at that time, I was in my 20s. I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know what I know now. I was
So
still a young girl.
are you telling me in your 20s, you thought this person, I ain't gonna say a man, but this person was
Oh, he
being
was a
truthful
man
to
by
you,
every
and you went through all this
way.
stuff?
Huh?
Huh?
Oh, he was a man.
The reason I say person, people got different definition of a man.
Oh,
You
but
know,
this
just
was
because he
all
got a
men.
penis, that don't make a person a man.
All
All
men
right, that's why I
everywhere.
say person. But anyway, it's like, well, what I'm saying is this: you knew this person was dangling things in front of you. You wasn't that naive at 20. Ain't nobody like that. When you in your
Oh,
teens, you
yeah.
know
Oh,
when a
yes, I
person lying
was.
to you.
Oh, yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Was you naive or was it love? Was you in love?
You're not a
Some
woman.
people
You're not
let
a woman. You
love
don't know.
control the other parts of them. Huh?
Wait,
You too young. You don't know nothing about it.
you don't know.
You don't know. You don't even know what a relationship is at 20. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, we was that. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So
Well, you think, no, at 14, 15, 13, you think you're in love. When you get in your 40s, you still don't know what love is until you really, really hit you, say, this is the only person I want to be with. And that person is saying, you're the only one person I want to be with. Because you might think you're in love with somebody, then they break your heart. You're like, wow, this wasn't true love right here. Love, true love is you don't give a damn. True love, you don't give a damn what the other person's doing, as long as you with that person.
Let me tell you this too, and I could tell you this, and anybody that knew him and know me, that nigga love my dirty draws. Make no mistake about that. Any man ever. Hey, hold up, swole up, hold up. Let me.
I just want to ask
He
you a
love
question.
what?
And tell
He
you
love
this.
what?
Any
He
man
love what?
ever spent with any real time with me, love me to this day.
He let them dirty
That's the one
draws.
calling me from the pen, calling me from County Jail. Okay?
Marina Queen. Marina Queen. He love them dirty panties.
Love them to death. And he dead now. Died a few years ago. Died 4 years ago. He loved them. Okay? Let me tell you something. That love, and that was also part of the challenge, what made it hard to walk away. Because I knew he loved me. Not based on what he said, but based on what he did.
But why did you want to walk away?
I wanted
Did
to
he love you that much?
I wanted to walk away because I wanted to be married and he did not. I wanted to be married.
So you saying love is signing a piece of paper and putting, that's true love to you? Sign a piece of paper and saying
You're not a female, sweetie.
No, and besides which,
no, see, y'all put that sex, that gender stuff in there. A man and a woman ain't too much different from each other. The only thing different from them is their genital.
Vagina.
But they think the same, they act the same. Women is more intelligent than men because they think more than men. They run circles around most men. And so when you come to women, it's like this. I respect women because I see what women had to go through time, beginning of time. Women had to outthink men to survive because the man was so strong. So women use her mind to dominate a man. And so it's like this. I look at reality. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm not saying I'm right about what I say, but this is how I learned about things, by sharing what's on my mind and get your opinion of how you feel, what female feel, because that's the only way I'm gonna learn about different things.
And that's why you keep fooling with us, because we keep teaching you. And I'm telling you, and I want you to understand.
Who teaching who? Who teaching who?
Listen.
That's the thing. We teaching one another.
You're not teaching me, baby. You're not teaching me.
Yes, I am. I'm schooling you. I'm schooling you about your feelings.
Wait. Let me be the mediator here. Let me okay, go for it. Let me be the mediator here, because y'all took this to a whole nother level. Listen, we're learning from each other first and foremost. We're lacing each other's boots on different things. Brother, Mr. Bradley, they lacing our boots on how women see things from their perspective that we can't see. Our blind spot.
I feel you.
And we're giving them the perspective that they can't fathom from being in prison and the things that we go through in the thought process. So we're teaching each other.
One another. Yeah, there you go.
We're teaching each other. So that's first and foremost. So
see, that's why I like you so much. You come with the real too. You know what I'm saying? Your real respect real. Ain't no sugarcoating, no. You know, I ain't saying I'm perfect. I might look perfect, but I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. You know.
No, I just wanted to get it back on the track. I just wanted to get it back on the track before we get Tony.
Okay, go for
it. She get to put her little woman sense in it too. Here she comes.
Yeah, she trying to dominate.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Okay, yeah.
Dominate you and $5 won't even give me a cup of Starbucks.
That's why I'm scared to come back up there.
There's no value to me dominating you.
Well, let me
You get too aggressive.
say something.
You and your hit squad. There go the other one.
Can I say something?
She was so loving and stuff when I came up there, gave me a hug and everything. Now she ready to jump on my throat, put her foot on my neck. Go for it.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, that's funny.
I put my knee in the butt, but not yet.
I can hear you, Tony. Step up to the mic more.
From an observation perspective, the tone in which you took with Noreen greatly differed from the tone that you took.
Speak up, please. Speak up, please, a little bit more.
He can't hear you.
The tone that you took with Noreen greatly differed from the tone that you took with Terrell, which makes a woman feel that you don't have the respect that you say that you do. I'm not here to be a hit squad, but I'm just telling you, your tone that you take, what Noreen was trying to explain to you is exactly what Terrell said, that you both have the ability, we both have the ability to teach one another, but the way in which you approach her is so greatly different than the way in which you approached him. I just want you to take.
Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony. I hear what you just said, but
hold on, I'm not finished. The biggest thing that I try to give to people is that you listen to respond instead of listening to understand. I preach it. You have to inject.
See, that's your problem right there. You preaching something that you don't. When two people have a conversation, one person let the other person talk, then you give the other person a chance to respond. You do not dominate. You having a one-way conversation right now. You the one talking at me. You ain't talking with me, because when I told Noreen we was teaching one another, she said no. Why you didn't get on her and say no? You can't say that. You can't say that. That when Terrell got on and said we teaching one another, but now you want to say, oh, your voice, you disrespecting. Come on, you can't have it your way.
Don't come down here. No, don't come down here. That's the thing.
All right, look here.
Wait.
I'm bringing the police with me when I come down there. Yeah. I'm bringing the police. Y'all ain't gonna touch me.
Hey, look, Lionel, don't go down there. Do not.
And Tony tried to say,
go down there.
Tony, listen, wait, listen, this is what you need to know,
Do
Lionel.
not pull up
We
on
love you no matter what.
Right
That's the guy's honest truth. But I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't
a one-way conversation. What it was that you had to listen, and you don't like that. That's all.
No. Let me add something. Can I add something? Let me add something. And I'm gonna say this. Let me add.
Wait, but go ahead. Wait, Terrell. Let Terrell say what he's gonna say.
Now look, I just want to add this, and I'm not taking nobody's side, but I just think that Mr. Bradley was just more excited and passionate about the conversation and not raising his voice at Noreen, but just due to the passion of the conversation and the subject, he got heightened because he wanted to be heard. Because and then her saying, then Noreen saying, you can't teach me nothing, that just made it heighten a little more. I just think that's what it was. Just listening to the exchange.
So I'm gonna tell you what I think it was. Okay.
Okay.
I got 2 minutes. I can tell you what I think it was. The issue is that Lionel, from previous meetings that we've had, took what I said in terms of me thinking that I could handle being in the relationship with this man when he said he wanted an open relationship, and interpreted that I thought I could change him. What started the debate back and forth was Lionel saying that women want to be lied to. Right. And that's what started the debate. And the one thing that Lionel wasn't hearing when I said to him is, the one thing you've never been in this lifetime, Lionel, is a woman.
As a woman, I was here. I heard all that.
Right. So the issue is that, again, and then as I start to talk, then Lionel start to talk over me. And listen, I can handle all that. I'm used to it. Okay. But the reality is this, is that women do not want to be lied to. At all. We do not.
Just like us men don't like all that BBL stuff.
This is
but
this
it's
is
the
a problem right
perception
here.
of society that what women think men like and what men think women like.
And that's why, and that's the point in trying to clarify it one to another. That's the point in trying to let him know that that's not a true thing. That's
wait. Okay, can I say something now?
Yeah, you've been saying something. Go right ahead.
We all have opinions on things. We all have different experience in life of dealing with different people. Now, to say all women, I didn't say. I say some women like to be lied to. They rather hear a lie than truth. I tell dudes, tell me a lie because it's very entertaining. When you sell a person a dream, they know this dream ain't gonna come true. I'm gonna give you the world. I'm gonna be there with you. I ain't going nowhere. Most women know that's a damn lie from a dude talking about you the only one. You gonna always be the only one. I mean, women straight just like men. See, this is the thing. I look at reality of things. I don't judge, put a man over a woman or a woman over a man. I look at reality from my experience. I don't know your experience or you different women. I never dealt with you females there in that type of way. But it's like people want to put certain people on a pedestal, but they don't belong on no pedestal. You know, they are no different than you and I and stuff. And so to say all women don't want to hear lies, now that's false right there. You got women want to hear lies because they want to be with somebody. They want an excuse to be with this person or do what they do because this man said, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be faithful, I'm gonna leave my wife for you. She know, most women know who deal with relationships, this dude most likely ain't leaving his wife for her. And women go for a lot of women go for that stuff because they want to hear that. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them.
See, now
from
you
my experience,
the conversation.
So,
it's one way.
Go ahead, Rufus.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have to disagree with him on that because just because the woman want to believe what the dude is telling her doesn't mean that she want to be lied to. She want to believe the dude.
Thank you.
He's the one that's lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's the what.
Well, then she lying to herself.
Lionel, wait, hold up, Lionel, hold up, slow up. It ain't your time, dude.
She ain't lying to
she
herself.
is.
She just want to believe. I mean, look, man. That's what I trip off dudes. Some dudes, because it's like, I mean, just say if a broad give you the sex the first night, I mean, a dude, he'll talk bad about her. I feel like it's me. It ain't.
Hell no.
No, I'm
you
just
talking
saying.
about all dudes do that? Man, come on, man. You saying the same damn thing.
Hold on, homie. All I'm saying is, I know the reality of it, but I'm saying I would like to think that she gave it to me because it's me, not because she, she get out like that. And the dudes talk bad about her because, man, she gave it to you though. Why you don't feel like that?
No.
In other words, you the shit.
I remember a female that got on the first night.
That's just my opinion, man.
I didn't talk bad. We stayed in a relationship.
Well, let me say this, man, because
gotta come up so they can hear you.
The concept is this: nobody, male or female, want to be lied to. Period. We gonna nip that in the bud.
No, we not. No, we not. That's your opinion, James. That's your opinion. I got my opinion, and you got your opinion.
If you're gonna be true in a relationship and you want a relationship to flourish, then you have to learn to be vulnerable, honest, respectful, and understanding, as well as, just like when they taught us in the groups, as well as speaking, you got to learn to listen. So when a woman tell you what they like, they telling you what they like if you listen to what they have to say. If you have your own conception of what you want to hear, Now you living in a world of fantasy. The thing is this, women will tell you what they want. Women will show you what they need. All you have to do is be patient and listen and watch and learn. The next thing is, women are smart. Men are smart. We both are human beings. We both have to take time to understand each other in a way that it is profitable for both of us. If a woman sleep with you the first night, that's because she's feeling you at that time. It don't make her a hoe. It don't make her nothing, anything less than a woman. She feeling you at that time. If she waits 30 days,
absolutely.
That's on her.
Man, you just said you talk about a woman. Men talk about a woman sleeping the first night. Now, two adults agree to do something. Man, you full of.
Oh, I keep it real.
I ain't talking about you, James. James, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about Ruthless.
You must have just misunderstood what I said, or
no,
didn't hear what I
you said when a woman sleep with a man on the first night, they talk about the woman.
They do, dear.
They do. Oh, yeah.
They do. She's a hoe.
No.
Let me excuse me. I'm sorry, Terrell.
Wait one second, because Cheryl hasn't had anything to say tonight.
So this is the thing. So when I'm growing up, the guys, I have a big behind and some other stuff. So the guys tell me the stuff they want me to hear, so I'll have sex, and I do. But guess what? They were not being truthful. Teenagers like having sex, and they like having sex with a lot of girls, right? So you get older, same thing. The men want to have sex. They tell you the stuff so they can have sex, right? Yep. So you guys are like this even when you're older, right? So as teenagers, we tend to believe, because guess what? Most of us ain't had no daddies to be at home to teach us how to react to men. All right? Yeah. We want, and that's what Tony just said. We don't want to be lied to. We want to believe in a man. We want to believe and trust in a man, believe in a man. Yeah. But let me tell you something, Mr. Lionel. You are saying most people, now you're trying to say some. It's a few, right?
Most is some, it's not all.
Sometimes it's most. But you can't speak for everybody in the world. You know how many people are in this world, sir? But you can't speak. It's just all your opinion about what you think, and most of it is
didn't I tell you? Didn't I share with you my opinion?
What? Didn't you tell me what? You ain't telling me nothing.
I said my opinion. I didn't say everybody's opinion.
You need to learn how to talk to women, dear.
Okay, so now
women. See, that's your problem right there. You don't know.
I don't have a problem.
Wait, hold up. Let me time out for this. Okay. I see your hand, Terrell, and I'm gonna come right to you. This is a place where everybody's opinion is respected. But I'm gonna say this to you as kindly as I can. You become pretty disrespectful, but you want to demand respect, sweetie. And when that happens, it doesn't go well. So you want to say, well, you don't want people to talk at you, but then you start talking over people when they start talking. And one of the things that concerns me about it is that you might have an actually good point and an opinion that somebody might need to hear, but when you're talking over them, nobody can hear it. And so I would just ask that we allow each other to have the space to speak, okay? So that people who might be listening to this can actually hear what everybody's opinions are, okay? And that's the reality is that we need to be able so that other people can hear this, okay? Terrell, go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
Well, I'm just gonna play devil, right? The devil's advocate. So basically, I understand both sides. And honestly, myself, it ain't about one gender, because both genders doing the same shit out here in 2023. You know what I'm saying? And no gender is different or better than the other as far as in relationships, because we all have been through some toxic stuff. Women have their issues, we have our issues. But the thing is this is the setting and the platform that we can discuss this with level heads and be respectful. And it's just a passionate thing. because this has never happened before. And it's not like Ronald's cussing anybody out or disrespecting the women on purpose. He's just passionate. He's speaking how he feel, you feel like he's being teamed up. I see it and I feel it. But that's not the issue. It's just the fact that we're on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Had to be a different, if we was in person, it'd be a different thing. But at the same time, I just feel like everybody's opinion matters. That's for sure. And you do have valid opinions and valid points, Mr. Bradley. You do. But women, not even women, people desire to be taught to a certain way. And I'm just like this, and we got passion. You speak passion and you raise your voice, but it wasn't in a disrespect, a meaningly disrespectful way. I know this, everybody know this. But some of the women might have just took it that way because you're a man and it's a woman. Sometimes it's a woman-man thing, you know what I mean? And it's the tone, and that's all in communication. And when you learn communication, as you know, the tone really matters. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. So that's why the women over there might feel like you're being disrespectful because you're talking over them and you're getting louder. But you have very valid points. And I agree, it's not it's not a woman thing, it's a man thing, it's a human thing. I have done plenty studies on my own, read plenty books on human behavior. It's not just a male and female thing, it's a human thing. Some people do want to hear a lie. Some people rather hear a lie because they can't handle the truth. And some people will accept a lie, knowing that it's a lie, just because this is the cap. This is the world we live in. Oh, you capping. Oh, you capping. This is the lingo. But a lot of people out here can't handle the truth. And that's why when we do get in these circles and have these conversations, they end up being squirmish and people talking over each other because some people can't handle the truth and they don't know how to express their emotions or their feelings when they're in the heat of a conversation or the debate of whatever the topic is. So that's just what I see. And from right here, this topic has been heated, it's been passionate, and I don't feel it's been no disrespect towards anybody. Everybody's just passionate about what they saying in their opinion. You know what I mean? So that's just how I see it.
Terrell, can I share something with you real quick?
Yes, sir.
Can I share something with you real quick? You write about a lot of different things. And like with me, I taught nonviolent communication, facilitated. I did a lot of anger management groups and facilitated a lot of anger management groups. I did groups that when you listen, you actually listen to one another and give other people a chance to hear, like when a person say, okay, you share your story and the person say, oh, I've been heard, because I listened to that group was about listening to what people say and remember what they said so that person could be heard. And with me, I'm listening to the people in this group talk. And, once I start, like you said, once I start speaking, I get cut off. And then when I try to stop them from cutting me off, then, the emotions and stuff like that, like, okay, I'm not tripping. Like you said, I haven't cussed anyone out. But for a person to tell me I'm disrespecting a gender, when I bag up that gender, I'm a person who support my women, my Black women and stuff. And then that kind of affected me. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like people who get an alliance, people who's friends, they won't let nobody down the other friends or talk bad about the other friends. They don't want the other friend to look bad, so they team up on a person. It's like, I don't try to fit into a group. I'm not trying to prove myself to fit into anyone's group or anything like that. Like you said, I'm only speaking my experience of what I had and sharing with them and stuff. And it's like, it's like you said, teaming up. I felt, I ain't gonna say they're doing it, but I feel that way, like you said. And so, just like the young lady said, I talk differently with you. I talk differently with you because you listen. I'm being heard by you. And then when the things you said is something what I had said, and let me know I have been heard. I have a person who's looking at both sides, not just my side. You said you playing like devil. You're not taking no sides. You listen to what everybody had to say, and you giving your honest opinion without taking anyone's side. A person can't do nothing but respect that. And the way you talk to me, your tone was down. You wasn't loud. And so that brings my tone down. when two people I notice when two people having a conversation, when the voice go up, it turns into an argument because one of them trying to out talk the other, get their point across. Because now the voice level is going higher and higher on both sides. But when you talk calmly, that person will listen. The hostility, it goes away because you are calm now. So I get what you're saying. Thank you. Thank you for what you just shared and not taking sides.
So
hey, look, we all passionate about this, man.
Yeah.
We all passionate about helping each other and growing and learning from each other. And we know our opinions are different, you know what I mean? But the commonality is where we trying to come at, so that we can bring solutions and resolutions and have people know how to have healthy relationships, to have healthy communication, to have healthy conversations, because that's something that society is fucked up. Excuse my language, but people don't know how to have healthy conversations because a lot of people don't know how to communicate. They texting all day long, or then they used to talking to their kids, or they're in a position of authority and they want to talk to everybody the same way they talking to the people that's under them. And that don't work for everybody. Because I don't let nobody talk to me any type of way, but some people don't realize it because this is what they do normally. So some people are not even cognizant of how they're talking to other people that they don't even know, because this is the way they're programmed to talking to the people that they do deal with on a regular basis. So sometimes you gotta look at that too and say, well, this person don't even know me to be talking to me like that, but don't take offense to it or don't take it personal, because that person don't know you to be talking to you like a kid or a child or like they got authority over you, but that's just something that they've been doing in their life or who they dealing with. So don't take that type of stuff personal, because it happens. I've had situations where I'm dealing with young ladies that, wait a minute, don't talk to me like you're the son or daughter. I'm not them. But I have to tell her in a way that she don't get offended by it. And just like when you start raising your voice or getting higher, they started getting offended and they started coming back, and it was going back and forth. And then Noreen stepped in. So then that's why I was like, okay.
So let me say,
it was just a matter of passion and people getting passionate. It wasn't a form of disrespect. I didn't see that. I just felt that everybody was getting passionate. You know what I'm saying?
So let me say this. I want to say this. This is a suggestion that I have that has come up, that's been said in this room while you guys were talking, and I really strongly would encourage this. Well, what I want to say is, Lionel, I would like for you, when this goes up on YouTube, to go back and look at it. Watch the video, and watch where it went left. I will also point out to you in this conversation, because I'm a 100 zone type of girl, okay? I can't even let it go and not tell you that Rufus very calmly, quietly, monotone voice said what he said, and he told him he was full of shit. So that's disrespectful. So I want to say to you that it really, that's why I want to encourage you to go back and listen and watch the video and watch how it happened, because where it went left was, I said, no, women don't want to be lied to. And it's not so much what we say, it's when Lionel didn't agree with what we said. So we allow you to have your opinion, and will always allow you, Lionel, to have your opinion here.
We love your opinion. We welcome your opinion.
Even if we don't, we welcome your opinion, even if we don't agree. But when somebody doesn't agree with what you say, then we ask that you do the same, extend us the same grace and the same mercy and the same respect that we extend to you, because there have been lots and lots and lots of times, Lionel, where people didn't agree with what you said, and nobody told you was full of shit, and we would not. I really don't, I don't like that. It's not how we need to be getting down one with another. And so I will say to you that, again, I just encourage you to go back and watch it and see, because there's room to have growth. There's room for growth. Okay. And the topic that I really wanted to understand, because I'll tell you this, the man that I was involved with that was incarcerated, similar to you, James, when he was inside, he was that man. He was that man. And we all know when they that man, you know what that look like when you get there, okay? he was that man when he was on the street. Okay, so the reality is, I know that's what happened. It was this identity crisis when he came home. Okay, yes, he told me, he said he was concerned about the fact that he was coming back to the streets, which was his only addiction. He was honest with me about that. And I've known other men who had an addiction to that street life. So I understood what was happening to him in that point at that time. My point is that he went in young, did a stretch, came home, went back for a stretch, came home, and now he wound up back in county jail. And now he was back where he was most comfortable. And that concerned me about the institutionalization. And then James went on to explain all of the ways that institutionalization happens. I have not been naive or fooled or duped by the man that was in prison. First of all, by that point, I was in my 40s. Secondly, anything I did for him, first of all, he never asked me for nothing. So there was no way for him. You don't get to use somebody that you never asked for nothing. That's not even a thing. But what I understood was that what was going on in him. The challenge for us maintaining the relationship was he didn't know who he was outside the walls. He was very clear. And when I heard his voice and he talked to me from county jail, I heard the same clear, confident person, because he was in that environment, and it broke my heart. He was in his element, and it broke my heart, because that element for him is where he's comfortable. And I hate the fact for him that that's where he was. I hate that that's where he feels the most comfortable at that point. And again, I wanted the people who have been incarcerated to really talk about what that feels like, and did you experience that kind of thing? Are you, what was the difference in how you felt? So the conversation took some turns that we didn't anticipate, but I still encourage anybody that's been incarcerated that's in here to talk about what it felt like, or is there, because James explained, I think, very good how that can happen. There's that period of time where things can happen and you can become institutionalized. And I want to open it up for anybody else that's been incarcerated to chime in on that topic.
Hey, babe. That's your phone call?
And Diane trying to get beat up, y'all. She over here trying to get beat up, y'all. Yes, go ahead.
So I have a friend, when she came to the prison, she had been in Mariana, which is the federal, where they had the women behind the wall. They had prisons with gates, but they had down in Georgia, they were like some of the not rougher girls, but they had been a long time. And she came, when she came to prison, she used to go to CIW from time she was like 18. Her kids were like 4 and 6. When she came home, they were 20, 24 and 26. And she's back in prison. Wow. And she used to go with my friend Pebbles, and when Pebbles had her baby, I was at the hospital, and she had come home and lived with Pebbles' mother. Pebbles' mother said, Cheryl, she was doing good. She never told me that anything was going on. And then her mother, after a while, said, Cheryl, why did she go back to prison? And I said, you know what, now that you're saying it, she was very popular in prison. She had an easy life. She made a lot of money. And that's different in this world to do that, because it's so much competition.
Right.
There, you only got so many people that can make good cheesecake and make other dishes and stuff. And she's very charismatic, and it's an easier life for them when they go back. And that, for me, is the what's the word? When they institutionalize. When you're comfortable there and you're not comfortable out here, right? And so she went back, and she's been back. She's been there 10 years. She has probably another 7 to go and stuff. So, and she's all right.
And you know, it's something because a friend of mine, her daughter's father had been in and out, and one day he told her, he said, "It's too hard to make it out here." He said, "I want to go back," and literally within a few weeks had robbed a bank and went back to prison. And again, so that's why I understand there's this possibility, but I wanted anybody who may be listening to understand that this is a possibility, and how people that may be incarcerated that would hear this may be able to fight through that particular fear.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
You see what I'm saying? Let them be able to fight through it. You wanted to say something, Terrell? Terrell?
Noreen, I wanted to say this about that situation, about the man going back. And this is just surreal stuff. After anybody, male or female, has been incarcerated for a certain period of time and have conditioned their mind and their body to being locked up, when we come home, if it's too challenging, too many barriers, not enough support, feel overwhelming, the comfort zone is right back to getting handcuffed. It's sad, but that's the reality of it. And nobody wants to be locked up, but people will be locked up to be comfort, to have comfort, to know that they ain't got to worry about this, that, and the other. That is the challenge. And that's why I say us receiving people coming home, we have to be better. We have to provide for them devices because we know it's right there. Reentry, all of these things are in front of you. And that's why I put all that stuff in my book, because these are the components that are in front of people, period. There's no way to get around that. So if we're not helping the people that come home that don't know these components, can't see these components by living them, yeah, they could be in prison all day long teaching classes and being facilitators and all of that, but they ain't living it out here. They haven't done the reentry process out here, which is totally different.
Right.
And if it's too overwhelming, some people say, fuck this shit, I'm going back to jail. Yeah. I know I can go and be comfortable, and I ain't got to worry about none of this. And it's sad, but it happens.
And some people, actually, families care about them. And I hate to say this, but I got a buddy that just went back. He wrote me a letter, and I told him you get $150. So you choose what much you get that $50. But he said that the only time his family actually cared about him.
Get closer, James. I can't hear you.
Oh, they can't hear you.
I said, I got a buddy that just went back to prison. And I told him he picked a month that he wanted $50 because I told him, I only send you $150 if you go back. But he told me out of his mouth, he said, the only time that his family actually cared about him was when he was in prison.
And it's but that's his reality. That's his reality. Yes.
His reality.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's true.
Right, but that's what he thought. So that's how what he acted on.
Right. And that was his comfort zone. Was getting up every day, getting his 3 hots in the cot, going to the commissary because the family to make sure he had money on his books. And they made sure that he had what he needed to survive in prison.
Right.
So he felt like that was the only way that his family actually cared about him was when he was locked up. You know, because when you come out of prison, when you first come home, and I experienced this, but I'm a loner. I go by myself. I go somewhere, holidays, I go somewhere and hide out by myself and just be me. But some people, that attention, they have to have it. And it's needed to keep them performing in a way that's profitable for them to maintain some type of security in their own lives.
What I gotta do, turn down?
Some kind of sense of normalcy. They created their own normalcy through that. And when I came home, I had cousins coming in, flying in from here and there, and hollering at me, man, you need them, call me this, that. I never called because one thing about me is I don't want you to ever say that you gave me anything when I came out of prison and use it against me.
Right.
Because that will happen. Another thing is all the stuff that they gave us, all that paperwork they gave us in prison, talking about we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that coming. Get that foster security out too. You have to work for anything that you want in this life. I made 89 days on a 90-day probation, and Union Pacific cut me loose from a job. I got another job at Parchet. I'm pursuing my Class A's, but the false sense of reality is going back to prison. I hate to say it, but a lot of people have that as their mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's their mask.
And they believe, because see, let's face it, it is easier to let somebody else be responsible for your upkeep, even if it is only in the penitentiary, right? If you're able to be in the penitentiary and have a certain level of respect and all of those kinds of things and all that attention that James just talked about, and you get that attention, then and you don't really have to do much for it other than whoever you really are and do what you do. When you come out, you got to work. Somebody wants you to work an 8-hour job. You got to try to get a car. You got to pay bills. You got to do that on a consistent basis. All of those things have to happen, and it's a lot of pressure. And there's pressure if you have children, trying to get those relationships back together. There's a lot of things coming at you all at once that you don't have when you're in prison. One of the things I share with women is that a man may have a lot of time when he's in prison to dedicate to paying attention to you. He can write you letters, he can have cards sent to you, he can make those phone calls and all of that. When he comes out, he's got to make life happen. So there's a lot of time that he had that's no longer available to him to dedicate to the relationship. It may not just be that he just don't want to be bothered. He's challenged with a whole lot of things. And I understood these things, which was why I wasn't mad that the relationship didn't work. It was a learning experience for me to be able to share with the people on Free to Heal. It was a learning experience. I needed that experience to be able to say what was going on and what was happening. So I'm grateful that we have had this conversation tonight about it, because again, there are people who may hear this who are still currently incarcerated, who don't know that they're going to face this identity crisis and that there are going to be challenges when they come out, no matter how good their intentions are. There are going to be, you don't have enough time. One of the things when I was teaching in CIW, and I used to tell them in CIW, and I also taught it at Norco too, I would tell them, listen, stop taking all them naps at count time and stuff like that. Stop doing that. Why? Because when you come out, you have to work a full 8-hour day. You're not going to get no nap in the middle of the day. Okay? Figure out how to start doing things that you're going to, living it the way you're going to have to live it when you come home. Some of that routine, change some of that routine. Why? Because you're going to have that when you get out. One of the things is understanding that everybody's not going to be here waiting on you hand and foot. And it's interesting that man that James talked about only felt like his family cared when they were taking care of him when he was in prison. I feel really bad for him because his conception of his family is that I have to be in this horrible situation for you to care about me. I can guarantee you his family would vehemently deny that that's the situation. They would deny it even if it was true and they knew it was true. They would never admit that. They wouldn't admit it. But it doesn't mean that their behavior hasn't given him that impression, right? Because family members, I think you've talked about this before too, Cheryl, is how they still living their lives. You got to try to fit back into their lives when you come home. So if they're not fawning all over him and trying to take care of everything that he wants. He may perceive that as they don't care, but they're really just living the life that they got to keep living. They're going at the pace they need to keep living to stay ahead of things that he's not aware of. So for him, I can see easily how a person can get that kind of a perception and cause them to say, the only time they care about me is when I'm in prison. Well, it also could be because one of the things I said, prison have a tendency to make folks lazy. Why? Because you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do all of the stuff you got to do when you on the street. So it could, very easily, it's easier if I don't have to worry about, like I say, paying the rent, finding a place that's going to take me, paying a car note, getting a car washed, putting the trash. I don't have to do none of that. Okay. Because all of those things are provided for me and taken care of for me. So what I'm going to say is this, Terrell, I see your hand up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the room and let everybody check out any last comments, and then we'll come back around to who's on the screen. So don't forget your point, okay? Okay. So Di, I'm going to start with you and come up close so they can hear what
There, I ain't heard from Di all night, and she there? What?
That's right.
You was quiet. You was quiet and all
Mute
that.
yourself. Mute yourself. He loved fighting with Diane. I don't know what that is, right? But go ahead.
Okay, tonight conversation got a little rocky, but we just have to learn how to listen to each other, to hear each other, to help each other.
Okay. Can you come up so you can say your checkout?
I'm just saying good night. Good night and ditto.
Okay, Cheryl.
It's a deep conversation that has a lot of components to it because there's a big difference in people in the free world, people who are incarcerated, and then the females, it's a whole different ball game with them. And I just want to say this. So when I was in Dublin, the men's detention center was right next door. It's more women going to take their children to see their fathers than there are people coming to see mothers who are incarcerated.
Absolutely. Miss Tony, come on, so they can hear you.
Ditto.
James, final comments? They can't hear you.
I just say this, and I'm gonna say this one time only. Respect, admiration, honesty, and self-esteem goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody hold on to the elements of peace, then we will transgress, we will transcend ourselves into greater places.
Awesome. Thank you. Ben, any comments for you?
Believe me, I learned a lot of my 20 years lockdown, and I still learning. Okay, I want to say tonight is thank you for all the things I have done because that helped me to heal my soul.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna let Rufus go.
It was a wonderful conversation, and I just want Lionel to know that, I don't take nothing personal. I understand it. We all good, and I liked at the beginning of the topic about the jail thing that you was talking about. We didn't really get to it, but hey, maybe one day we'll go back to it.
How about that? That's for sure. Lionel, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I always tell people, don't ask me no question if you don't want my answer to the question and stuff, because I'm always be open and honest, and I'm always a person who know I'm not perfect. I ain't gonna say I'm always right. That's why I ask questions. Be open with people, and I really be respectful to all people. And I love the way Terrell addressed everything and stuff. And thank you, my brother.
Okay. Terrell.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Got a little razzle dazzle up here today. This what family do. Ain't no family perfect. Ain't no family have every perfect day. Shit, we gonna have some disagreements. We gonna have some little squabbles up in here, but it's all out of love.
It ain't out of disrespect. And I don't never think that brother said anything to anybody on this panel to be disrespectful. Just like I had to correct myself last week with the sister to let her know I was not being disrespectful or attacking her. And I feel in my heart and spirit that Mr. Bradley ain't attacking nobody on this panel. So, but we a family. We had our little squabble tonight. I'm an adversity and correction coach, because if you can't deal with adversity, everything ain't gonna be peaches and cream. So when you got a little adversity in your life and you don't know how to respond to that shit, that just shows your weakness. And it shows you need to toughen your ass up and get you some diversity skills. Because life gonna throw you some shit that you don't like. Life is you gonna be in some conversations and debates that you don't like. But you gotta know how to take that shit in and learn from it and grow from it. You know what I'm saying? We a family right here. And I know ain't nobody on these screens trying to disrespect anybody. We just being opinionated and we being passionate about what we feel. Straight up. So I love the razzle dazzle. We gonna get back to the topic. It's razzle dazzle, you know what I'm saying?
Razzle dazzle. Look,
you know, hey,
dazzle.
I get that from Magic Mike on Friday at the Next, you know, little pimp. You know, I got a little razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
But you know, but I really sincerely believe that everybody here means well by everybody. No one's tried to be disrespectful. So, Brother Lionel, I know you felt like they were teaming up on you, and we gonna pull up next week on Slauson and Central.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because you know I'm taking a 2-week break. We're gonna take a 2-week hiatus. You know, I gotta have some downtime. So for the next 2 weeks, actually, we won't come back until the 9th of January. But
what was you gonna tell me? See, wait.
I started off.
Mr. Bradley, you see this? Now you see how she tried to talk over me, and she just gonna tell us
we ain't gonna have 2 weeks. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. That's why I need you, bro. That's why I need you.
We gonna know
we can relate.
3 weeks.
So let me say this. So we're going to be taking a 2-week hiatus of Free to Heal. And you were late, Mr. Terrell. So I did mention it at the beginning of this group. Let's just be clear. Razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle, baby. So I mentioned it, but yeah, I need a break. And so we're gonna be taking a 2-week hiatus. We'll be back on the 9th of January. But I want to say this about tonight's conversation. I really was interested in having people to understand what the institutionalization is about and how that happens. I also want to say that, like I told Lionel earlier, we ain't throwing him back, and we don't care. Whatever, his opinion is valid, and so is everybody else's. You know, you're not getting put out the family. We ain't thinking about you. And again, what the ladies told you, if you pull up over here, we was gonna do you, Lionel. You was gonna get done. Hey, Lionel, do you have brothers and sisters? Do you have brothers and sisters, Lionel?
Yeah, I got a bunch of brothers. And I got.
Okay, where are you in the order number? What number are you?
What you mean? I'm the middle one.
Oh, you in the middle? Okay, so yeah, so you got beat up enough by the older ones and whatever, and ganged up, all right. So you
No. I did when my oldest ones went to prison. I don't want to fall for everybody. I even started fighting for the oldest ones and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, I treat them as a family. I didn't fight my brothers because I don't believe in fighting families.
So, but you do know that there are family members in that pecking order that got beat up on, right? And look, and y'all were still brothers. Y'all were still brothers at the end of the day. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you come here and we beat you down, we're going to nurse all of your wounds back together. And we're going to take care of you. Either way, after we beat you down and stomp you out, we're going to get you up. And guess what? And guess what else, Lionel? this is the other cold part about family. If anybody else try to touch you, they got all of us to deal with. So you just need to know. You just need to know that's the way family go, and it is what it is. But
that's the thing. I don't believe in fighting my black people though. That's
okay.
over with.
Today you don't, but look, we believe in fight you, and so that's
yeah.
what.
Yeah. I feel your pain.
Fight you, Lionel. We believe in fight you. So I want to say to everybody listening, again, this is where we're trying to learn to heal. We're trying to grow. We're trying to be better here. And sometimes it's a little rough. It's a little razzle dazzle, as Terrell say. And we're going to take that razzle dazzle and we're going to move on. And I'm hoping that somebody else learned from this. That's Mr. Chester Hill. Chester came a little too late to really even comment on the conversation. But we will see Chester come the new year. And I want to wish everybody, I don't even celebrate Christmas and all that, but I want to wish you all a happy new year. Please be safe along the way. I appreciate all of you guys for being here on a regular basis. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, all of the social media sites, and know that we're here for ourselves, to heal ourselves, but also to help you guys that might be listening heal as well. And we thank you for another great session of Free to Heal. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Feliz Navidad.